Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you could please rise and direct your attention to the door over here. We'd like to welcome the Jackson Area Career Center of the JROTC under the direction of Sergeant First Class Monroe.
Color guard, post, forward, march, left, right, left, right, left, right. Mark time, march. Detail, halt, right, face, post, colors. Present. Out. Order. Out. Left. Face. Forward. March. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left, right. Left, right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Well, welcome everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our 12th actual Top Teacher Awards. I'm Shelley Jusick. I'm the Operations Manager for Jackson Magazine, and I'm also a former educator. I'm very proud to be. Jackson County teachers, as you know, are making a positive impact on the lives of our students for many, many years. And of course, isn't it fitting that we celebrate our top teachers during Top Teacher Appreciation Week? We always enjoy that. I'd like to let you know that we are on Facebook Live, so if there are people that you weren't able to invite tonight, please text them really quick, let them know that you're able to watch you on live, Facebook Live, and you can also catch that later too. So since 2014, Jackson Magazine has partnered with the Jackson Community Foundation and the Hearst Foundation. Each of our top teachers tonight will receive a $1,500 grant that they would use in their classroom, and they can use that for their classroom or even for their own personal development. And the Teacher of the Year will receive $7,500 this year. They can use that any way they choose. So a real honor tonight to have that funding. Later tonight, you're going to hear a little bit more about the Jackson Community Foundation from the President and CEO, Monica Mosier. So the past few years have certainly been trying for all of us, but I know that it's been very trying for our teachers. And we all have to make changes in the way we do work. I make changes every day. People are coming into work, and we have to do a lot of different things with technology. And of course, the same with teachers. But that has allowed us to grow personally and professionally in ways that we didn't even imagine at the time. Our teachers and our support people in the schools, all levels of our educators have had to make those changes. And we just want to recognize that and let you know, everyone, that we appreciate everything that's going on in our schools as well. We want to make sure that we applaud all teachers, by the way, for their dedication to the students despite those changes. Before we begin the awards, I'd like to make some introductions. We have some Jackson Magazine staff here. If I can ask you guys to stand. I'd like to introduce you all to our new salesperson, Maylin Moselle. She just started with us a week ago, so we've got a new salesperson. Marie is here somewhere. She's at the door. You all saw Marie. We got Erica Class, our designer. She designs the magazine and takes the photos here. And then our publisher and owner, Donovan Cartwright, is here as well. So I'd like to welcome them. And then we also would like to thank our editorial board. Jackson Magazine does use the expertise of several people in our community to help give us ideas and keep us on track with all those good news stories. that we put out in our magazine. So that's our editorial board. So we'd like to thank them as well. And then we couldn't, of course, put on this event without our sponsors of the event. So I'd like to thank the True Community Credit Union for being with us today. Thank you very much. Silver Learning, the Stowe Insurance Agency, Jackson Area Career Center, the Hearst Foundation, and the Jackson Community Foundation. All, we could not do any of this without them, so we give them a big round of applause. Thank you. And then there's other businesses that we'd like to thank as well for helping us put on this event. Of course, this beautiful room provided by the Old Sharp Museum. The food is coming from Sylvia's Catering. I've Been Framed does the awards for us. Jackson Mental Center, our linens. LTI Printing for our programs. And the Jackson Area Career Center, by the way, also provided the centerpieces. And we have cookies in the back as well that we would hope that you will grab some from the culinary class at the Career Center. And on your table, we have AG chocolates for a special treat as well. We're going to sugar you guys all up tonight. Not if you're not sweet enough, right? So I'd like to tell you a little bit before we get started too on how we pick these the top teachers. It is a very lengthy process. You know, we accept the nominations all through the year. In fact, I got an email today from someone wondering when we're going to select the next round. I said, today, send in your nominations. So, but it is a detailed process. It takes us months to go to make these selections. To give you a quick overview, once we receive the nominations, we do background checks, and we ask our administrators also to approve those nominees before we even contact them. Then the Committee of Local Educators and community members whittle down that to the top 10, and that we receive over 100 nominations every year. So they have a lot of reading to do. Then we take the top 10 that were selected, and a second committee made up of former educators go and do 2 classroom visits for observations of these teachers. And from that, all of that data is compiled, and we have a third committee, totally different group of people, review everything that's been seen and data, and then they make the selection of the top 10, they make the selection to the top 5 that actually get the awards. So I've heard this is a grueling process compared to even the top teacher in Michigan. So we thank those teachers for putting up with that process, but they do shine through, and it's great to see the wonderful things that they're doing in the classrooms, so we appreciate that too. Now, all of you will be able to get some magazines. We have some available for you on your way out, so we expect that you'll take a handful of those, and then you'll be able to read more about each of those teachers that were selected. So after I mention all of this, I do want to take some time and thank the committee members that put in their time for that process. So if you're a committee member, and I think some of them are over here, if you guys will stand up, please. No, stand up, please. They do this for the love of education as well, so I appreciate that. Now our winners tonight will receive these Frames Awards that we have up in the front, and our Teacher of the Year, just like we do with every magazine, we give them a free copy of the cover as well. Now I'd like to introduce one of our sponsors to come up and say a few words. Is Dan Draper, the Assistant Principal at the Jackson Area Career Center. Dan, if you'd like to come up now and say a few words.
No teacher voice, I was just told. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight. This is a great event for the past 14 years now. I know that seeing everybody in this room here for these top 10 teachers is just amazing. So thank you. On behalf of the Career Center, we're very happy to showcase some of our programs. As Julie mentioned, In the back, the desserts back there from our culinary program. Up front here, along with the centerpieces from our agri-science program. And then we already got to witness the presentation of colors by JROTC. Also, selfishly, we're pretty excited because one of our teachers, one of our very own, is in the top 10 tonight. So we're extremely happy for tonight. So with that, enjoy the evening, and congrats to all of our top 10 teachers this year. Again, this is such an awesome event in honor of you and all the efforts that you put in, especially over the last couple of years, as we know that the world of education has given us. So with that, congratulations, top 10.
Now I'd like to introduce another one of our sponsors, Adam Stowe, from the Stowe Insurance Company. You want to come up and say a few words there?
Thank you. I'll keep it brief. I don't have any prepared comments here, but my name is Adam Stowe, Stowe Insurance Agency, Nemic Insurance. I recognize a lot of the faces in many of the winners, actually, I recognize. First and foremost, congratulations to all you guys. I teach music lessons sometimes after work, and it's hard. You guys teach a whole classroom of kids full time, so seriously, that's awesome. Real quick, if you're not familiar with who we are, Nemic is an insurance company founded way back in 1950 by a small group of Michigan teachers to provide insurance to the educational community. So like auto insurance, home insurance, it's kind of our thing. One thing I do want to mention, I would encourage you to check out, Nemic has a nonprofit called the Nemic Foundation. All it does is gives grants to schools, teachers, educators. Past couple of years, we did over $1 million in grants. You can go on our website, stoweinsuranceagency.com, check it out. It's free. I would encourage you guys to do that. And that's my spiel. Thank you.
Right, next, I'll mention that our top 5 teachers will be getting an award. I'd also like to introduce the 5 other teachers who are into the top 10. And realize, with over 1,600 teachers in our county, these teachers all rose to the top to be top 10. So we want to recognize them as well. It's a huge accomplishment to also be in the top 10. We did include them in our program tonight. You can read more about them as well in the issue. I'd like to introduce each of those of the top 10. If you will stand and be recognized, and then we have a flower arrangement for you. So I'm going to start with Adam Bogren from Hanover Park High School. Elizabeth Hoffbauer, Northwest High School. Give her a minute to go. Make her run. Then we have Joy Johnson from Vandercook County Elementary. Jamie McMillan from Northwest Early Elementary. And then finally we have Mike Nichols, Jackson Area Career Center. I think we give them all one big round of applause. Thank you very much. So now I'd like to introduce our MC for the evening, one of our sponsors from Sylvan Learning Center. This is Stacy Thompson. She's the center director for Sylvan. She's going to speak to you a little bit about Sylvan and then introduce our teachers, top teacher awards.
Hello, I'm Stacy. I'm the Center Director of Sylvan Learning Center. I would like to thank every teacher in the room tonight, excuse me, whether you currently teach or you've taught in the past. Before I introduce tonight's top teachers, I would like to tell you just a little bit about Sylvan. At Sylvan, we take a truly personalized approach to learning. Each student starts with an assessment so we can gauge exactly what they already know. From there, we build a customized learning plan based on skills the student does not know. Our low student-to-teacher ratio means lots of one-on-one guidance to each child. The teacher is right there to help or answer questions as they come up. At Sylvan, we believe everyone involved in a child's life should work together towards a common goal. We meet monthly with parents to celebrate each of the small wins. With the parents' permission, we reach out to the school teacher to find out what additional needs the student has. By working together, we are able to quickly build confidence in each student that starts at Sylvan and soon begins to spill into all other areas of life, most importantly at school. It is no secret that the past 2 years have been challenging for everyone. The great news is that because our programs are highly personalized, students can start at any time. Not only are we adding extra hours to serve families this summer, we are also partnering with local school districts and community outreach programs to bring a Sylvan experience to even more students. So if you're looking for either a part-time job to join our family or want to provide one of these opportunities to your students, I would be genuinely grateful to partner with you. We are now ready to introduce the members of the 12th class of top teachers. To our winners, when I call your name, please come up while I read a few things about you. You can then say a few words if you would like. You can move over and grab your award and get your picture taken. I will be introducing in alphabetical order the 4 top teachers first, and then I will introduce the teacher of the year. I would like to ask Tony Hurst to come up to help present the awards. Tiffany Amott attended Spring Arbor University and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree there. She did her student teaching at Western High School and soon after accepted employment at Northwest High School. She is in her 11th year of teaching English classes at Northwest. Tiffany's first focus is on relationships because she believes if she can build a relationship with a student, the rest will come after that. She teaches 100 to 120 students during each trimester of the school year and helps students transition towards their goals, whether that includes earning a professional certification, going to trade school, into the military, workforce, or going to college. They work on writing resumes, obtaining references to use during job searches, cover letters, practice interviews. The big project is creating a personal website that highlights the skills they have learned throughout high school, and they present that information in front of their class. They learn other important soft skills along the way, including working hard, persevering, and being punctual, which will help them be successful. Tiffany also helped create the school's annual Senior Showcase and College and Career Decision Day. She is a school improvement chair with regular presentations in staff meetings and input into school decision making. As a course owner in the English department, Adema oversees curriculum development. She also had a leadership role in the school's Focus Time program, an advisory period during which each student has regular contact with one teacher throughout their 4 years of high school. Last year, senior class members invited her to be their honorary graduation speaker.
I feel like the last thing she said about speaking at graduation makes it seem like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. So this is a lot different than a classroom. But tonight I thought I would share my journey of becoming a teacher, but that would take us all the way back to first grade, and I didn't think we had that kind of time tonight. So instead, I thought I would share a quote that had to be special for God to use you. This was a supposed to cry, sorry. But now I know you simply need to say yes. Tonight I wanted to say thank you to all the teachers in this room and many more around the county for being the kind of teachers that are willing to say yes every single day. Yes to supporting kids, yes to not giving up on them. Sorry. And yes to the things that matter most. What you do makes a difference, and what you do matters. So thank you for continuing to say yes, even when the days are sometimes long and difficult. Jackson Magazine, thank you for recognizing educators around the county and putting on this great event. And I'd like to also thank Northwest, all of my administrators, counselors, and fellow teachers for always supporting me and encouraging me. And I'd like to thank my parents who are here tonight, all the way from Ohio. Thank you for teaching me the value of saying yes to the important things in life. And my siblings who are also here, thank you for always supporting me when I say yes and then I ask you for help. To my husband Paul and my son Rudy, thank you for saying yes with me every single day. Teachers, again, thank you for saying yes and thank you for making a difference in Jackson County.
As a Columbia Central High School senior, Kathy Boone volunteered to be a classroom aide. She was assigned to the special education classroom to help students with special needs complete their work, a life-altering assignment. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education from Eastern Michigan University with 2 endorsements or licenses, one in general education for kindergarten through 5th grade, and one in special education, specializing in cognitive impairments, servicing students from kindergarten through 12th grade. She was a student teacher at Ezra E.B. Elementary School in Napoleon and joined their staff as a special education teacher 29 years ago. While teaching, Kathy also earned a Master of Arts degree, specializing in learning disabilities. Kathy currently teaches 22 students from young 5s through 5th grade. Since special education is highly individualized, she might find herself teaching kindergarten for one 45-minute period and 5th grade math the next, being able to quickly change subjects, levels, and needs. Her philosophy is, you need to love them first and teach them second. Away from school, Kathy is active in the choral music program at Cornerstone Community Church in Brooklyn. She and her family have leadership roles in the Wolf Lake Water Ski Club.
Hi everyone, I am beyond honored to be in this wonderful. Thank you for the privilege of teaching. Thank you for the privilege of serving the community. We don't do it alone. We do say yes, but you're right, Tiffany, wherever you are. We do not do it alone, right? It takes a whole village and a whole team. And I did know I wanted to be a special education teacher when I was a senior in high school. And that was a life-altering event for me. That was 29 years ago. But I didn't get where I am today without a whole lot of help from other educators. And I need to say thank you to 2 of them. Andrew and Kelly, thank you for pushing me. Thank you for teaching me how grit when I needed it. And thank you for praising me when I needed that too. Right? And Joy. Joy started out as my 2nd grade mentor. I taught second grade my first year, and she was my mentor. 2 years later, she became my mother-in-law. And thank you for raising a great son who is my husband. Thank you, Don, for saying yes right along with me and my children who help do projects when you need it. Thank you for having my back in all those late night errand runs to the grocery store when we have to do those last minute things, right? But I am privileged to be here, and I was asked in one of my interviews for this, what piece of advice would you give a young teacher? And I would tell them, go the extra mile. Do the extra activities. Put in the extra time. Is it frustrating sometimes? Maybe a little. Will it cost you a little side money? Maybe. But it's absolutely worth it. To make a difference in the life of a child, I think that's what everyone's goal is, right? That's what you want to do. And thank you for giving me the opportunity, and parents for supporting me and putting me through school myself. Encouraged me to not stop, right? So thank you, I appreciate it. Someone I need to say thank you to who's not me to my students. My students in my community, thank you, Napoleon. Thank you, students, for making me a better teacher. Thank you for hanging in there with me in the tough days and getting through the great ones together too. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Thanks. As early as 10 years old, Rachel Martel knew she wanted to grow up and be just like her fourth grade teacher. Today, she teaches the same grade at Northwest Elementary School and aspires to provide the support and encouragement she received from teachers as a child. Always with Northwest Community Schools, Rachel started her career in 2001 as a fifth grade teacher. In 2004, she became a Title I learning specialist. Part of her motivation, she admitted, stemmed from her background. Growing up, her parents had never encouraged reading and didn't keep a lot of books around the home. Because of that, she had to work twice as hard to be proficient. As an adult, she wanted to help children in similar circumstances gain the reading skills they would need so they could avoid some of the pitfalls she had experienced. In 2020, the pandemic brought Rachel back to her roots as a classroom teacher. She dove in, applying all of her tools and strategies to help students overcome the social and educational experiences they had lost because of the pandemic. While focused on curriculum, she said she's keenly focused on relationships and helping students to realize their capabilities. Rachel has led several initiatives through her district, including a program focused on service delivery to at-risk students. Most recently, she organized an effort to help ensure the success of students struggling with online learning during the pandemic.
Thank you. And I didn't come right from school, but I did wear this shirt today intentionally because my students call me mom sometimes because they forget. But some of my closest friends say that I am Mama Bear, and it's something that we've talked about with my students. So a few of them wrote some things for me today. And they said, I think you're Mama Bear because it means that you're loving, hardworking, bright, easygoing, and generous. You are warm-hearted, peaceful, clever, respectful, and Mrs. Martel is so sweet. She tries her best even when we get on her nerves. She is a brave person, and I'm so happy that she's my teacher. And another wrote, it's a good thing that people think that you are Mama Bear, because it means that you protect your cubs and help them learn things to survive when she may not be around. A Mama Bear is a good thing, and Mrs. Martell tries her best, but some people don't know that she is the best teacher. Mama Bear is respectful, kind, safe, responsible. I like how they included our building expectations in there. Hardworking, amazing, helpful, fun, and the best teacher. So I did look up what a Mama Bear does. She is a mama without boundaries. She is a woman who parents the best way she can for her children. She is a woman who doesn't apologize for her choices, which I think my husband and probably my administrators know that. Mama Bear is a woman who asserts herself in a way as any parent would. She says no. She doesn't succumb to other people's opinions and ideas of how she should do things. She does it her way. And because she knows her way is the right way for her children. The problem with being Mama Bear is that people don't always like you or respect you. In fact, they will openly make fun because inserting yourself makes them intimidated by you. It makes them feel threatened, but that's okay, because being protective and nurturing is normal for a Mama Bear. So I'm not going to apologize for being Mama Bear. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of my students, and I'm so grateful to my parents of my students who trust me with their children, who communicate with me, who work with me, who partner with me. I am blessed to have had a wonderful staff to work with that is supportive over the years. We get each other through the highs and the lows and the challenges that COVID had brought, and other things that come, and I'm sure are coming down the road, hopefully in more positive. I've been fortunate to work in a few different buildings and play a few different roles, and I'm so grateful to all my administrators for those challenges, and I am honored to be among this group of people here in this room. Thank you to the sponsors and Jackson Top Magazine. Thank you.
Shannon Tinkle married and started a family right after graduating high school. She took care of 3 young children as a stay-at-home mom, and when her kids began school, she volunteered in their classrooms. She then took a part-time position overseeing an accelerated reading group, which led to her current post as a 3rd grade teacher at Northwest Elementary School. Shannon then applied to college to earn her degree in education. She was an older, non-traditional student and the first in her family to go to college. She graduated in 2007 from Spring Arbor University at the age of 39, the same year her oldest child graduated from high school. Shannon began teaching shortly after receiving her degree and taught 8 years at Bemidji Primary School. In 2015, she started at Northwest Elementary. Throughout her tenure, her goal has always been the same: to instill a love of learning in her students and motivate them to become lifelong learners. Her classroom environment reflects her goal through supportive teaching methods that remind students of their ability to learn and succeed through practice, hard work, and not being afraid to make mistakes. Shannon engages regularly with parents and caregivers and maintains open dialogue with her peers and administrators. She also serves as their school's PPIS coach, a district-wide program for creating a school culture that enables all learners to excel socially and academically.
It has been my privilege to educate the children of Jackson County for the last 15 years. I have been in the 3rd grade for 13 of those years, and it hasn't gotten old yet, although I have. I have 2 points that I would like to make. First, Winston Churchill said that attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. I believe that a positive attitude can see you through many obstacles, even a pandemic and virtual learning. I also believe that despite what happened yesterday, it is within our power to make today as great as we want it to be. Not only is that true for myself, but it is the outlook that I desire my students to have and adopt. Second, setting goals. Begin with the end in mind. Winners are losers who got up and gave it one more try. A goal that I've had since I stepped into the classroom is to instill the same level of learning that I have in my students. I want them to enjoy learning and to continue learning long after they leave my room. I want to motivate each kiddo to do their best and be their best self, even if their best looks a little bit different than their neighbor. My goal is to let each of my students know that they can learn. They can succeed through practice and hard work, and most importantly, that making mistakes along the way is proof they are trying. So, positive attitude plus goals plus effort equals success. Thank you, and thank you to my administrators and the foundation. Thank you.
Last but not least, I'm honored to introduce our 2022 Teacher of the Year, Sarah Anderson from Warner Elementary School. Growing up, Sarah Anderson spent all of her free time creating classrooms and playing pretend teacher with her 2 younger sisters. Using stuffed animals to fill the rest of the desks, Anderson brought home extra worksheets from the school for her mock classroom playtime. While pregnant with her 2nd child, Sarah wanted to take time off to spend at home with her kids. She began volunteering at Warner Elementary and was a part of the school PTO board before getting hired full-time as a teacher there. Today, the 2nd grade teacher has a real-life classroom, making a true impact on hundreds of students over the years at Warner Elementary. With her mother holding an active role on the school board for decades and completing postgraduate work in educational leadership, Sarah had positive role models who exemplified the value of education. Sarah attributes her present-day teaching philosophy of prioritizing others back to the lessons her family instilled in her. Partnering with families, championing their child's academic and social growth alongside the support network is one of the most rewarding parts of her job. Her classroom is warm and welcoming, full of current and past students' artwork. Working in collaborative groups, the 2nd grade classroom completes most of their work in center-based activities. The walls are adorned with mentor anchor charts for students to refer to and review after completing individual work. The space is meant to be an inclusive place where all learners feel loved and accepted throughout their project-based learning and inquiry-based learning journeys. Students' learning schedules include a healthy dose of technology paired with brain breaks throughout the day. At home, Sarah's family support is what enables this teacher to be so actively present in her students' lives, both in and outside of the classroom setting. Teaching in a pandemic has put an even larger strain on resources. Last year, each each teacher had both online and in-person students on their roster. Though the process was draining, Sarah says home visits were a positive light throughout the pandemic. She believes it is imperative to have frequent, honest, and authentic conversations with families in order to best set up students for success. A school social worker is also invited into her classroom regularly, as Sarah also believes that teaching social and emotional lessons are more important now than ever before.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to begin by first thanking the Hearst Foundation and the Jackson Magazine, and especially the members of the selection committee for such a humbling honor. As you are all aware, there are many amazing educators in and around the Jackson County area, and they work tirelessly to ensure that our children in the county have an exemplary education. This profession does not commonly lend itself to distinguished specific professionals, and I'm deeply touched to have been nominated, let alone selected for such a special award. Spending each day with 25 inquisitive, thoughtful, and adorable children brings me great pride and sustained joy. As a child, as you heard, I dreamed of reading to classrooms full of children, directing them to put their names on their paper. My two younger sisters were my first students, and I specifically remember taking points off their papers as we would go up and put their name after hearing what's happening. Although my job is much more eventful than that now, than I could have ever imagined at the age of 7, there are days that I would definitely enjoy worrying about nothing more than names, papers. Education and children are still my greatest passions. Education was always a privilege, and my parents invested a great amount of time and effort into. They made it very clear that the greatest gift they could give my sisters and I would be that of education. My mom stayed home with my sisters and I when we were in elementary school, and she tirelessly volunteered in our schools and our community. She advocated for teachers. One of my very first memories as a student was when my mom put together an edition fact song to the 1966 version of Boots Are Made for Walking. And she had my friends and I perform to our second grade class. My parents made it very clear that teachers were to be respected and were important leaders in the community. The support and pride that they've shown me over the years has allowed me to grow and lead not only as a teacher, but as a wife, a mother, and a friend. As a young teacher, I was often offended by the proverb, those that can't do teach. But as I reflect on my experience as a student, I've learned to embrace the meaning behind these words. I was not the top student in my class. I struggled in math and needed extra support and time to complete tests in high school. I suffered from test anxiety, and I can recall feeling very inferior to my peers and scared to ask for help. Luckily, my parents were my biggest advocates, working to help me learn how to embrace my strengths and humbly accept assistance from both teachers and the support staff. My experiences as a student have led me to empathize with all types of learners and have shaped my teaching philosophy to embrace them and to be their biggest cheerleader. I'll never forget, as a student teacher, I was placed in the second grade classroom at Cascade Elementary with the late and amazing Karen Smith. And I was given the opportunity to begin reading aloud to a book. It was one of my first opportunities I had to be kind of in charge of the class. And I remember I began reading the first day and I found myself getting very nervous. All these sweet little eyes were watching me, listening to me, and telling to my story. And I began to feel very overwhelmed, and I started to butcher the words. The more I read, the more I messed up, and it just felt like a horrible movie. I was embarrassed. As my cooperative teacher looked down, probably mortified that she was given this to a teacher that couldn't even read to a group of second graders. How could this possibly be so hard? I remember thinking to myself. When I finally finished the first chapter, I felt a huge sense of relief, and I was completely embarrassed. I wanted to run and hide. As I turned to put the book down, a sweet little boy named Clarence walked up behind me, he grabbed my hand, and he said, "Don't worry, teacher. We can learn to read together this year." As he smiled up at me, my heart grew for this kind boy who extended such grace and love. And later that day, I debriefed with Miss Smith about my horrible reading, and I was explaining to her why I was so nervous, and I wasn't sure, and I was going to do better next time. And she just smiled at me as I stammered through. And she shared with me a great truth that I'll never forget. She said, kids don't care for making mistakes as long as we accept them and we apologize when necessary. All they want and need is a real, authentic teacher who loves them and cares for them. From that day on, I spent each day in the classroom trying my best to provide grace for my students, to empathize with their needs, and to love them authentically. My experience as a teacher is somewhat disjointed, starting my career as a 23-year-old teaching English as a second language, and then moving on to teach both 4th and 5th grade for another 6 years, before I gave birth to my beautiful daughter, Grace, and chose to stay home with our 2 amazing children. As a stay-at-home mom, I was blessed to enjoy my role as a teacher, my children's first teacher. My first experiences at Warner were that as a mom, as you heard, and I was so fortunate that my kids were able to be a part of that awesome building. I spent a great deal of time volunteering in different classrooms, organizing fundraisers, and working as part of the PTO board. Eventually, I spent some time working as a preschool teacher and a long-term substitute and a literacy coach until all those experiences helped me realize my passion, which was to work with early elementary kids. When I chose to return to teaching full-time, I was proud to be hired as a young guys teacher at Warner Elementary. I could not be more fortunate to work with such an inclusive and loving staff. Our building is a family led by our amazing principal, Ben Gopin, who reminds us daily that our #1 priority is to love each other and to find ways to encourage our students and our colleagues. Mr. Gopin has created a school where each child belongs to all of us. There isn't my class and my students. There are kids. And we work together to support each student, from our patient bus drivers to our friendly custodians, to the hardworking secretaries and devoted classroom teachers. Thank you, Ben. I've been honored to work with some of the absolute best teachers who have taught me strategy, shared curriculum, encouraged my growth, and given me the opportunity to learn alongside them. The family at Warner Elementary and Western Schools has made me a better person, mother, and teacher. I would like to specifically thank Laura Smith, Christy Soper, Angela Cole, Deanna Struck, and Jerry Cole for sharing their expertise, time, and compassion with me, which shaped me into the educator I am tonight. Thank you so much, Laura. She's here tonight, and she's amazing. I have to give a shout out to the amazing, powerful women in my family who have helped me be who I am today. They are tremendous examples of strength and success. My mom, Tammy, my sisters, Rachel and Emily, and my Aunt Rebecca, and my mother-in-law, Karen. I love you all. Thank you for being such great examples. You are amazing. Of course, I can never forget to thank my supportive and patient father, who's provided me with wisdom and direction for not only me, but my whole family. I'd like to thank my amazing husband, Kevin, and my 2 incredible children, Luke and Grace, for all their love and support. Teaching is definitely a family affair. They help me set up in the classroom. They visit, they go to kids' extracurriculars with me. They encourage me in difficult days. They take on 25 new kids every year as part of our family. And I'm so grateful that they take pride in my profession and in cheering me on. Most importantly, I'd like to thank God for the blessings and plans and grace that He's given me. Without Him, this life and this life would lack purpose and direction. Thank you so deeply. I am so deeply honored for this, and I'm extremely grateful to spend each day fulfilling my childhood dream of teaching in the classroom for children. Thank you.
your faces out there tonight and to celebrate teachers in Jackson County. Every year, I think we've seen the top best teachers we could possibly see, and every year I think we just top the last. And the folks that sit on the committees with us get the privilege of watching all of this happen behind the scenes and see the collaboration that happens along the way, and it truly is amazing. So I know we've already given you all a round of applause a couple of times, but I would like one more time to give all of our teachers in the room a round of applause for the work that they do. I'm pretty lucky to work at the Jackson Community Foundation because I get to partner with all sorts of people, and our organization does all sorts of cool things. We do grants to local nonprofits and schools and units of government. We get to help donors support scholarships for students to go to college and post-secondary education, including trade school. We get to see all of this happen. And one of the things that has happened over the years is we partnered with the Hearst Foundation, and specifically Tony Hearst, many times. And 30 years ago, Tony started something called the Teachers Fund at the Jackson Community Foundation. And he wanted to inspire K-12 teachers across the county with an initial gift of $220,000. And the purpose of the fund is to inspire creativity and innovation in our K-12 schools by funding classroom proposals that are submitted by teachers. There is an advisory council that gathers each year of retired teachers from public and private schools, current and retired administrators that understand the dynamics of working in the classroom and what it means to be creative and innovative. And they review and evaluate grant proposals from teachers. In the 30 years that the Teachers Fund has existed, the endowment has grown to almost $450,000, while at the same time granting over $300,000 to teachers across the county. Please give the Teachers Fund. So a gift that Tony gave 30 years ago is having an impact for 30 years and for 30 more years to come. That's the power of endowment. And having it continue to grow over time and supporting teachers year after year. So, you guys are all teachers in the room, and you know a lot of teachers. This opportunity is open right now. The deadline is on July 2nd, right, so right before the 4th of July. And the grants are awarded up to $3,000. So get your teachers working, and if there's something that you would like to do in your classroom and you need some extra bucks, instead of taking it out of your own pockets, take it out of the Teachers Fund pocket and use it for our kids in our community. So, Tony, thank you for inspiring the Teachers Fund 30 years ago, and thank you for partnering with the Jackson Community Foundation. We get to take the credit, but it's all because of you that it's happened. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica. To wrap up the evening, I would like to bring up Sarah Ermentinger.
It's good, it's all good.
She's the Chief Experience Officer for Pure Community Credit Union and a sponsor of tonight's evening. Be thanked for closing.
Thank you. My baby name was over here. So I think I have some housekeeping things, right? Right? Is that, what page is that? So the plants, the beautiful plants that the Career Center did. There is one for each award winner, right? Top 10, sorry.
and a sponsor. So feel free to battle it out for the beautiful succulents that were provided by the Christian Institution. So is that all good? How are we doing? So I know it's a school night, so I'm not going to take too long. But again, I just want to congratulate all of the award winners and nominees. I mean, oh my gosh, teachers have such an impact, and I know you hear this all the time, but you do. In True Community, one of our mission is actually to create legacy-defining moments for the people and places we serve for generations to come. And I sat there thinking through that today, and I'm like, yeah, we're not doing what teachers do. Like, you do it every single day. Like, yeah, we got to learn a little bit more to learn from you guys. So thank you for that work. So in preparation and in closing, I just want to say, I was kind of researching, like, okay, I want to know, like, the impact of the work that you do every day. So I came across a story of successful people and how teachers change their lives, the trajectory of their lives, and how they inspire them. So, ironically, I found George Lucas, who is obviously Star Wars and all that. But tomorrow's Star Wars Day? Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing. May the 4th be with you tomorrow. It's Star Wars Eve. I didn't know. Sheila and I were actually born on May 4th. Yes, we share a birthday. We're not twins. But it wasn't a thing when we were growing up, and now I'm like, oh, my birthday's overshadowed by the Force. Anyway, so his expression is not only spot on, it was a perfect timing, so obviously, so I wanted to share it with you. So here's what George said about teachers in his life. Kids today grow up immersed in a world of digital technology. Information is now freely available to everyone. It's powerful. Digital technology can get information, store information, do calculations, and connect people in new ways. Digital technology can do so many amazing things for the learning process, but it can't be human. They were human beings offering encouraging and building confidence, saying things like, I know you can do this, come on. And this is one way in which the world hasn't changed. Teaching is still the most important job. To me, there is nothing more exciting, fulfilling, and wonderful than watching a kid finally grasp the concept, then take that information and use it in the real world. Teachers make this happen. Teachers motivate. Teachers synthesize information that helps students understand. Teachers listen, coach, and mentor. Teachers matter. Teachers say yes, right? Tiffany, I got you, girl. Where are you at? All right. They say yes all day long. So that is what George Lucas said about teachers, and that is amazing. So absolutely, tonight in closing, we honor you, thank you, and may you continue to be the force in our students' lives. Have a great night.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming tonight. I do need the top 5 teachers to bring their awards and come on up to the front. We're going to get a group picture, and then you're welcome to stay and enjoy. There's still cookies in the back, and enjoy each other. And again, thank you very much for coming tonight.